No. So what they're saying, right? Just be clear for our audience, because I actually read that article. I didn't look at that. But let's what they said was
dropping gems like we preaching. Welcome to another episode of the Jury's Out podcast. It's your host here, Splatticus, aka Jack. Always, I got to the right with me, Eugene.
What up?
Ev is taking care of something, but he definitely will be hopefully joining us in the middle of this. Today, we are here with James Prince.
Yes, sir.
CEO and creator of Hyvaria. Sorry, yeah. Hyvaria
actually, I love when this happens, actually.
Yeah. That's great.
Such a conversation starter. That's all I need, but yeah.
And then we also have Zeus Rivera, who is the CEO and creator of the clothing brand Studyhall. So we appreciate you guys coming today. Before we get into it, we have to mention our sponsor. Our sponsor is Raw Touch Media. That is David Washington, who is a photographer. He can shoot product photos, events, anything that needs to be documented. That's your guy. All right. He does all of our behind the scenes work. He shoots all of my products for my clothing brand. He shoots all the products and events and anything we do for Attorneys with Swag. And that's obviously Jury's Out. So shout out to him. Thank you for all the checks so we can keep on doing what we do to provide for our peoples. Please make sure that you subscribe, you like, and you comment, especially comment on this video's comment feed, because we are giving away NYC FC tickets. So that is a football club in New York City. Okay. They're great seats. Two tickets to any of the games from this current season.
Can I comment and get?
Yeah, if you want to. Yeah. But and you will be chosen at random, so that's just make it even for everybody. But yes, we have that for you. So make sure you put those comments in. All right. And so without further ado, gentlemen, thank you very much for coming.
Thank you for having us.
So let's start off with James. James, tell me your story, man. You started a clothing company. Why? What got you to that point? What gave you that passion?
To be honest, it was others. I would have to give that to everybody else. People was always. Matter of fact, let me first and foremost shout out to y'all for this platform. That's first and foremost. It's amazing, super dope. But yeah, when it comes to my story, I gotta mention my partner. His name is Tay. We started this together. You know what I'm saying? This is our story. We definitely started this together. It was our vision. People came to us and was like, you know what I'm saying? Y'all super fly. Y'all do this. Why don't y'all take it to the next level and, you know what I'm saying, try to make it a passion as well as a paycheck. That was something they always fed to us. And we definitely ran with it. And it stood the toll of time, definitely. It has been a brand. We've been LLC'd for 10 years, actually. Ooh. So, yeah.
Congratulations to that, man.
Yeah. Oh, okay, yeah, ready. Yes, sir. Yeah. But recently, you know, he moved to Florida. You know what I mean? So that's when I took over the day-to-day creating and the day-to-day everything. So but he's definitely still involved, you know what I mean? Everything that I do, you know, we talk about, he still has input. If he wants to create, it's nothing but a word. But you know, since he moved, I took over the day-to-day though. But yeah, I just feel like I need to create. That's what still has me doing it 10 years later, you know what I'm saying? I just feel like I need to create. And that can be anything. Like, it can be me dropping a collection. I used to try to, you know, go with the spring, summers, the fall, winters, the blah, blah, blah. But it really doesn't work like that for me no more. Especially now. I've been so dry this whole winter. Like, I haven't dropped nothing. Yo, bro, I haven't dropped nothing. And people been hollering at me, my inner circle, like supporters, customers hollering at me like, yo, what are you doing? Like, what's up? Like, dropping the ball. And initially it was like, yo, what's up? What are you doing? Let's get to it. You know what I mean? Drop something. But I think I'm mature to the point where I'm going to drop when I want to drop. And I feel like it's necessary and it's coming up. So that's why I felt like this interview was perfect, because I'm definitely dropping something in this.
Well, awesome. I'm glad that we'll be able to provide you with a platform where you can, you know, reconnect with clients you already have and connect with new ones. Zeus, Mr. Rivera, Study Hall. Tell me about it. Where did it come from?
Yeah, so
where'd you find the seed, or how did you plant it? You know?
So initially with my right hand who passed away, God rest his soul.
May he rest in peace.
Sean Remicky. We started something called Rev Clothing, and this was when we was in college, and you know, we both of us was super into streetwear, had our brands that we follow, and we just wanted to have a space where we could create something and try to enter that streetwear space, right? So we was rolling with that for a few years, and then, you know, tragedy happened, and I didn't feel too comfortable continuing the vision without my right hand. Like that, it was just weird to me. So I regrouped with my partner. Shout out to Josh Harris, and Jan Cortez, who they also run the day-to-day with me. Us three, we're basically the core of Study Hall. And we figured, like, yo, let's rebrand. Let's figure out what else we can do. That's Rev is always going to live, you know, in Sean's name. But let's figure out what we can do separate from that, you know, so it feels it feels fresh. So months of brainstorming, we came up with Study Hall, New York. It's crazy because Sean's name is SHAWN, and the letters for Study Hall is SHNY. So it's like his name is still in. It's just bizarre, right?
Yeah,
So we got that cracking. Made it official this past September.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And
sir.
we got a few collections out. And same as JP. We didn't drop shit this winter. It's just a weird space. The winter, if you're not doing Gore-Tex bubbles or any of that, it's a weird space.
I mean, tis the season. Or you're not doing the hood that got no jacket. You know, the face mask boy.
The balaclava.
Some shiesties, got
yeah.
shiesties on deck.
So before we get into what you currently doing now and what you aim to do in the future, what got you into fashion? Like, I mean, for me personally, is once I started making my own money. And my parents couldn't say you only getting sketches once a year. I was like, I'm gonna charge you my own sauce. So what was that point where you were like, nah, this fashion shit is my personality. It's part of how I want to present myself to the world.
I would definitely have to say, early on in the game, we got invited to a New York Fashion Week sanctioned show.
How old were you?
22.
Okay.
Yes, 22. Me and Tay was both 22. It was our first fashion show. We had no business being there.
Okay.
Like, absolutely no business being there. Like, till this day, like, if I was to get that show right now, I would be super content. Like, I'm like, even this far down the line, I would be like, yo, all right, this is amazing. But anyway, that was our first show. We had no business being there. And we were welcomed to the point where it was like we felt like we belonged in that room. And that was huge for me because we didn't have no reassurance yet. We ain't have shit yet. Like, we kind of made our bread and butter with like pop-ups. And speaking of that, I don't know why we're acting like this is not like my guy, by the way. Like there's like a tension here that like we're two designers that don't really know each other.
We know each other.
Like, we have had pop-ups together, like to the point. Like, these pop-ups that I'm talking about that make my bread and butter, like a lot of them they was a part of. With rest in peace, Sean, by the way. But yeah, and that's a whole nother thing. But anyway, I want to about that. But listen, we felt like we belonged in that room, and that was major for us. And that was the moment where I felt like, you know where, regardless of what, wins or loss, this is going to be a part of my life.
I need to do this.
Yes, I need to do this. Like, I may take a break. Like I said, I may have some downtime. I may have ups, downs. But this shit right here, like,
this is me.
This is me. Like, regardless of what, I need to give this to the world. Like, regardless if people sell me out, regardless if I sell 2 pieces. Like, I'm going to share my creativity and my content and my everything to the world. And I think that definitely happened at that first show, that New York Fashion Week show that we did not belong at.
That's beautiful. So
how'd you get the, like,
how'd you get in? You snuck in?
That actually is a story. Our first model, her name was Tamika. She modeled with everybody. So she threw us out there. Somebody's name fell out. They said, you know what, I have a brand. I just shot them last week. Whatever the case may be. They threw us that link. We was in there and they needed somebody immediately. So like everybody was locked up, like everybody. and brands that was at that level, I'm sure you guys know, it takes a lot of production and everything. So they had already had everything locked up. And me, of course, we didn't have nothing. So it was nothing to say, yo, you're doing this. I'm like, okay, like I didn't have no money tied up nowhere else. We didn't have no models already. So it was nothing. We just walked in there, used the models that they had for that brand, threw us everything, and we just took advantage of that. It was super amazing. But yes, that's how it happened. It was definitely a story.
All right, what about for you, Zeus?
For me, I mean, I've always been into fashion, but not high-end fashion, just regular streetwear.
Well, when did that start? Like,
I feel like that started in high school, right? So I had moved from White Plains to this small town called Elmsford, New York, and it was predominantly black, right? So like black and Hispanic. So I just came from it was a lot of white folk. It was mixed, but more white people than anybody that looked like me, right? So I get there and I'm like wearing fucking Airwalks and shit, like
LL Bean fucking zip-ups and shit, like.
And I see my peers and I'm like,
they saucy.
Jordans, they getting fresh. Yeah. So that's kind of my introduction into like basketball and streetwear, right? So ever since high school, like 12, 13 years old, just into hip hop and shit, like the hip hop culture. Getting into streetwear, I just felt like I love streetwear so much that I wanted to be somehow a part of the community, not just as a consumer, but also as someone that can provide the clothing. So obviously starting off with Rebel Vet was a little shaky, but we had a lot of support.
Right.
And through that process, I just learned how to do everything myself, like how to source blanks, how to get a printer, getting tags sewn, all that shit. Like, it's crazy. I had to learn it myself too. Like, I don't know how it was for you, but it's crazy because I knew someone that was already kind of into it and knew where to get blanks from and all that.
You would think?
You would think. That motherfucker that shit with me.
Right.
No.
But what's that mean? Get blanks.
So getting the shirt there was nothing on it.
Nothing on it.
Okay.
So the thing is, all right. So for people,
help me out.
It's significantly cheaper to buy the blanks from one place, then go to a spot and get them to embroider or to print or the things like that, rather than getting it through them. Because you get it through them, they charge you $3 or $4 on top of every shirt.
That's a fact.
So it's better to just do the extra legwork to save you hundreds of dollars, maybe thousands if you're doing 1,000 pieces. You know?
So in respect to the game and sharing information, if anybody want blanks out there, alphabroda.com.
Yo, right? I just
go there.
Hey, you know what's crazy? I found out about that less than 6 months ago.
Damn.
Less than 6 months ago.
And you've been in the game 10 years.
Less than 6 months ago.
I would have given you that long time.
Where'd you get it from? TikTok? We're dropping that knowledge, bro.
Right.
They doing it
TikTok,
now.
right? Yeah, TikTok, bro.
That's crazy, right?
Yo, listen. And you know what's crazy? And I'm trying, and like right now, I work in the school. I work in the school system.
Oh, word, me too.
Yeah, nice. I'm telling you, man, that's the way, by the way, DOE. But anyway, regardless of what, I work in there, and there's this young boy. He always comes to me once he found out, I dibble and dabble with clothing or what have you. He comes to me, and I want to make sure
he's doing the right thing.
Yes, and then I give like I don't have it all, but what I know, that young boy's gonna know, yo. Right. It wasn't like that. Like, what you say? Like, it was not like that. Nobody.
Gatekeepers, yo.
Yes, and I wish Tay was here. If Tay was here, he would reiterate this to the T. Like, we was around the people. Like, we was around movers and shakers. And like right after that show, we was put in that position, and nobody. You think somebody would be like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? This is how we go about this. Nah,
nobody.
Nah.
So I want to just still tapping into like getting started. What was your brand? Like the brand that you were like, oh man, I fuck with this shit. Because for me, it was Kid Robot. Like, I don't know if y'all know about Kid Robot.
Yeah, of course.
But Kid Robot, when they started dropping the hoodies with the numbers on the inside, I was like, ooh, that's exclusive as fuck. Because I'm the only one with 345, number 345 or something like that. And there's only 400 of these hoodies or something. Yes. So for y'all, what was that one brand that started it? Maybe it's not, the main contender now, but what was one of those brands that kind of started that inspiration for you?
For me, honestly, it's Rich Young. I don't know if y'all.
Does it have the velvet on the shirt, bro?
Yo, listen. And I always have this conversation amongst peers or what have you. Listen, bro. Rich Young, like Fab started this independent brand which calls merch now, which flourished off of, because Rich Young was so high class,
Facts.
Streetwear to the point where I used to cut school and go to Soho, come back up. It wasn't there, but regardless, come back up to 59th. That's the only way it was at Vinny's right there before you get to the NBA store right there. They used to have them and they were going crazy. So me and but we was young boys, like we was 9th grade, what have you. So they used to not let us come in like that. So we pulled up every Wednesday, because attendance wasn't taken to third period on Wednesday. So we used to go down there on Wednesday right after third period. We just pulled up every Wednesday and we came in.
Y'all gotta let us
in. Caught 2 Rich Young pieces, all that, and then that was it for me. And I seen the way Rich Young was carved out, and that made me say, I want to design. Like I want to dibble and dabble and do this.
What about you, Zeus?
Rich Young, not Rich Young, but that brought it back because I had a couple T-shirts. It was different.
It was
it was a beautiful cut. They always had the high class printing on it. It was hard. For me, it was just real like streetwear. It was Stussy and Billionaire Boys Club, which I still wear to this day. Like those are obviously pioneers. But now there's a lot of brands that's doing their thing. Like Hidden New York.
Oh man.
Yo, I'm taking I am fucking following everything they do because they started from having to put out ads, not selling anything.
It was just a page that was posting behind the scenes shit. Like they was getting photos that was like, yo, you had to be connected to get those images. It wasn't just some regular off Getty Images bullshit. It was like, yo, you know somebody.
And then I think Drake posted or retweeted them, and then they blew up and they started dropping their own shit.
People start their pages from Hidden. Like people go to Hidden, get content, and start pages and be low key successful. Like that's how popular. Hidden
so Hidden is a huge inspiration. I look at how they do their website, how they do their promos and all that shit like that. And they're fairly new. They're like last 5 years. Like Stussy, Billionaire Boys Club. I've never been a huge Supreme fan. It's always super difficult for somebody got no bread to try and get some Supreme.
Right. And then Bape too. I mean, Bape was a pain in the ass.
Yeah,
once I found out that Bape hoodies are 150 in Japan, like 150 American dollars, and they 300 here. I was like, nah, fuck y'all. Like,
so that's some of the joints.
So as designers, starting out, what were some of the most difficult hurdles you had to overcome to like either get it started or for example, was it difficult to drop your first design, or was that it just kind of came to you and you were able to like your first product?
That was easy. That part was easy for me. It was the more or less to become established that what we struggled at early on, not even early on, deep into our run.
So like the LLCs and the bank accounts and
getting
stuff
everything
like that?
established to the point where our paperwork is good and everything is good. Like we struggled with that, and that's something, like I said, young boy, like I'm gonna make sure if he really wants to take that seriously, like that would be something that I would stress from the jump, because if that stuff is situated early, you don't have to deal with it later. And that's just eliminating steps. So that's definitely something I would say, like, the creating stuff was easy. Stuff came naturally to us. It was definitely the black and white stuff that we struggled at. And it took us a minute. I would say at least 3-4 years into the game to realize that, like, yo, we're wasting our time if this is not backed. And I think that would be it.
How did you teach yourself?
YouTube
the
internet.
YouTube
Yeah, the internet, man.
Right.
Like the internet does it, yo. The internet does it. And a few trusted people in my corner, talk to me about it, and Tay's corner as well talked to us about it, and
so what about for Studyhall?
Honestly, it was the same. It was the same, exactly. Like the designs came a little easy. Obviously, we had to figure out like where to get it printed and vectorizing designs and all that, but it was the legal aspect of it. Like another quick gem: if you open up an LLC in New York City, you got to deal with the fucking publication bullshit.
You have to pay to have your shit added for 6 weeks or some shit like that.
So that's been a little, like, I'm dealing with that shit now. Like, I'm not trying to pay $700 to get in New York City. There's a few loopholes. So it was just the legal aspect of it and making sure that we got everything in line, that we got our sales authority, the tax certificate and all that.
I do that shit every fucking 3 months.
Yeah, bro. I get emails from the niggas all the time.
That actually stopped us from making a website early on. Like, we
Really?
didn't want to deal with that. Yes, actually.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, so yeah, the website shit was easy. But real quick, like, you know, we're still kind of fresh in study hall. So one thing that I want to plug that we'll be dropping hopefully by this summer is something called we're gonna call Study Hall Presents. So Study Hall Presents is shit like this. Like if you're young, for example, you'll tell your young boy, attend that webinar. We're gonna talk about sourcing blanks, finding the printer, doing all that shit, like getting your design vectorized. Here are some few contacts for printers that do really great work. Feel me? Nice. So Study Hall Presents, and then we're also gonna branch out and maybe come at JP like, yo, how can somebody that's starting in fashion get into a runway show, some shit like that. You feel me? So we're gonna start tagging different people, see if they could do a little 30-minute webinar for folks that's interested in that shit. So
It's wavy, bro.
And I think that's great, man, because, you know, it's like you were saying, there was so much gatekeeping. Facts. And because it happened to you so heavily, and you were just like, yo, fuck y'all, bro. Cool. I'm gonna get to where you at, and I'm gonna pull everybody that I feel like is really about this. I'm gonna pull them up. Man. You know,
that's
because
how you gotta do it.
If you gate kept me, that means I'm doing something right because you're scared of me.
Facts. Big facts.
So is content like that like a bigger part of the ethos of Study Hall?
It literally is. Like Study Hall, what we're trying to get to a point, and I don't know if it's an inspiration from hidden, like subconsciously, or just me trying to just share all the knowledge and the resources that I got. But we trying to build Study Hall as a community. Like think about it. Study Hall was a community back in high school.
That's true.
When your free period, that's when you figured out anything you love, whether it's music, getting your hair braided, drawing, you know, whatever it was. So that's what we're trying to build with Study Hall, some sort of community at the same time dropping high-end streetwear. You feel me? Like I've been sourcing blanks for over 12 years at this point. I know some of the best blanks that you could get. So right now we're doing really high quality. And I'm gonna show you. I brought something for everybody in here. Y'all gonna see the type of quality that we got for our joints.
Very dope, man. Very
amazing.
dope.
So super dope, bro.
Yeah, I like that. So so on top of that, have you both had your own fashion show yet, or like have you been able to do an event like that?
My own?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. We have not had our own.
Like, but you've been in fashion. You've had stuff in fashion shows.
Yeah, definitely.
What's that like?
That is amazing. That was my favorite part. Like,
okay.
Like I said, that what got me locked in, and that's what I loved it. Haven't had one in a minute though. It's been 2018, I think was the last one. It was super dope. I love that show, by the way. It's on my page. I love to tell people to go check it out. Please go check it out. It's super amazing because I had no resources, and I feel like I made this like I made this something that looked like $1 million, like low key, and I had no resources. Like a time before, I had just saw Virgil at Columbia University.
Okay.
Simple voice note, whatever the case may be. I recorded his whole speech or whatever, and I mean I chopped that up, used that as the background for the drop of the people walking. It was just like people just told me, and it's the feedback. Just like I feed for it. Like I like it's like thank you, the negative and the positive. Because when people told me, I'd be like, listen, keep it a buck with me. Like you couldn't have liked everything. Like be honest with me. Like the negative and the positive, I love it. Like I love the feedback, and I had so much feedback from this show. So I would definitely say it's hectic, super hectic, super hectic. But like I say, I live for it. I love it. You know what I mean? That's the real way to express your art when it comes to clothing, I think. Because I feel like, you know, it's easy to put stuff up online, and it's easy to have pop-up shops where people can come, pick up your stuff. But to see stuff on the runway, how I want it to be displayed, and because I was super to the point, like I was like you got to walk like this, like you can't, like I don't want that, like
particular.
Yeah, super particular.
Yeah,
and I felt like that's the way, like that's why runway shows are very important. Like, and I feel like if I ever had a budget, that will happen all the time. Like everything I drop will be presented in a runway show.
So what about you, Zeus? Have you been able to have a chance to have your stuff in a runway?
Nah, no runway for me. Yeah, I don't know if I'm ready for that yet.
Okay.
We done
Shut up.
We can be though.
See, so that's what I'm saying. So explain to him what he may, the preconceived notion he may
we
feel
got
like.
T-shirts.
It doesn't matter.
So explain
bro.
that. Why
Listen,
why doesn't it matter?
And you know what's crazy? The same thing he's saying right now. My partner Tay said that first show that I was telling y'all about. This is the same thing that Tay is telling me in his ear, and he knows Tay as well. And I'm sure he can be like, "Yo, Tay would say some shit like that." But listen, like that he is saying is like, "Yo, bro, we have T-shirts. Like, what are you talking about?" I'm like, "Yo, it's just expressing it, and it's how you express it to the world. It's how you wear your shirt. Study hall is not every T-shirt, bro.
Right.
It's not, bro.
Right.
And your vision is your vision, and I'm
Right.
telling you, people appreciate that, and people know what they're coming there to see.
Yeah.
Is there like a specific way to get into a fashion show? Is it
Oh,
best
yeah. Oh, you
practices?
could do your own, right?
Yeah, you. I would love to do that. Maybe we can tap in, and that's the way you
let's
get your
talk.
ass on the runway. So, you know what I'm saying? If it's yours,
You're applying that pressure,
if it's
bro.
yours, nigga,
Steel
you
sharpens
can't.
steel,
Yeah,
baby.
not facts, because that's crazy that he just said that.
Right.
Like, come on, bro. Like you pay some time, man.
Right.
How dare you say that?
So that's great though, right? To hear that, because it's like, I mean, even for me, I'm intimidated by having a fashion show for my brand because I understand, or I think I understand, right? All the things that need to happen in order for it to be successful. But it's like, I've found with this closing shit, like you just gotta just dive right in, and if you fuck up, you could still make art. The fuck up could be the thing that makes your shit appealing. You know what I'm saying? And so I was learning that last night working with David. Shout out Raw Touch Media. We was taking product photos of my stuff, and he was like, "Bro, like putting the pant." I was like, I had like a whole these different color jeans, and I'm lining them up, and I'm like, "Do you think the color coordinate?" He was like, "Bro, we could shoot this shit with the red one here, with the blue one there. It don't fucking matter, like, because you don't know. If you set it up and you don't like, I don't like it, bro. It's not about you. Like, take the picture, create the content, and we put it out there, and motherfuckers somebody's gonna like it.
that's
You know?
a fact,
and so it was like, oh, all right. Well, I'm probably gonna have to relearn this again in like another month because I'll be stuck at my shit. But you know, it's a valid point. It's a valid point about clothes, man. So like tapping into like the culture. Because you are in the clothing world, the fashion world. What are some things that you don't like about the fashion world that you just like? Nah, that's some whack shit. That you see is popular.
The red
you
boots.
Like,
the red boots. I ain't rocking with them red boots.
The mischief Astro Boy boots.
I'm pro them. I'm pro the boots.
You gonna rock them shit? You ain't rock them shit.
It depends. Like right now, no. I wouldn't rock them right now. But at the right place.
I feel like your foot gets sweaty in them shit. You know, they rubber. I don't see no holes in the toe box and nothing.
The one. All right, so.
The marketing is genius.
The marketing is genius.
Right?
I do. Yeah, like Mischief is doing. They got some shit in there.
They definitely being mischievous.
And this is not the first silhouette that they have that's been ridiculous like this.
Like you saw, it's the Air Force One shit. That shit is hard.
Like people are just. I guess this one woke everybody up, but they've been doing this crazy.
Right.
It's crazy.
But what don't you like?
What don't I like is I don't know if it's gatekeeping, but like I feel like celebrities are what making a lot of brands, which is a little frustrating because just because fucking
a basketball player wears
his shit. Yeah, like that's what it's getting, no matter what the quality of the product is, right? So that's a little frustrating with streetwear, like in the last 2 years. That's just my frustration, and it sometimes gives me the false thought that like, oh, I need a celebrity to fucking wear my shit.
Right.
It's not always like that. It's just some people have those connections and it happens. And then you buy their shit when you see it on somebody, you buy it and the quality's not even there. So that's the frustrating part, that the quality don't match the level of sometimes we're like
of attention.
Of attention, exactly.
Right. What about you?
One thing, I actually a couple collections ago I made a trucker hat. Actually, that's the one that you pulled up to, the pop-up that you pulled up to, they was definitely there. It's fitteds. Like, I do not like what has happened to fitteds, bro.
Okay, explain a little bit.
Like I'm super like fitteds a part of the culture, obviously. Like to the point where they're not going nowhere. I just feel like over the past 3 years, what creatives have done with fitteds has been a little ridiculous. I feel like back when we were growing up, correct me if I was wrong, you know what I mean?
No.
Like
He does a lot of shit to fit it, so I'm wondering if this is gonna connect.
I mean, no, I don't. I do some things to fit it, so I can tap into that a little.
Oh,
bit
yeah.
But I think I know what you mean. Like they embroider anything onto the fucking fit.
Yes, they embroider anything on the fitteds, and I feel like the colors is like ridiculous. I feel like back when I was growing up, if you had correct me if I was wrong, correct me if I'm wrong. If we was growing up, I'm in my 30s. If we was growing up, I feel like back in our time, if you had let's say an orange Yankee fitted, what would be said to you?
Oh, you was in a gang or some shit. Or what with that color rep or some shit. Right?
Something, or I just feel like it had to be some semblance of the team's actual colors. And I feel like now I get it one colorway off, obviously, because we're gonna create. But I feel like it's too much going on. It's a patch here, it's a patch there, it's a patch there. And I feel like creatives, we are selling ourselves short with that shit. Because I feel like it's so much more you can do. And it even if there's not more you could do, you could tap into something else. I just feel like the fitteds was something, and that's why I made a little trucker hat. And the trucker hat was saying, over the past 3 years, what we have done to fitteds is ridiculous. On
a trucker hat.
On a trucker hat. So like that pun, like I'm trying to say, like that little pun, like a lot of people like that didn't sell well. Like I'm gonna be super transparent. Like I think I sold about like 20 units of that, and that's not what I usually sell, obviously, but like I was okay with that because it was a personal message. Like that shit was super satisfying that even 20 people found it that agree with me to the point where like
it was willing to cop.
Yeah, so I'm but yeah, I feel like it's a dope avenue that creatives have took recently, but I just feel like they're doing too much with it.
And so I feel like that's the plight of a designer, though, right? Because you said, now this fitted embroidered game has become oversaturated.
Super oversaturated.
And
don't sell me a hat for $200 either.
Right.
But it's gonna be $200. You know why? Yeah. Because honestly, they put the work in. How much it's gonna be? If you put 7 different hits, boom, 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 boom.
That's $140.
That's $140 right there. So you can't really get mad at them because it's really that much work. But that's my point. Like you're doing too much.
Right. and so with the oversaturated, so like the thing is like I feel like as a designer, you tend to get to a point where it's like, okay, do I design from the creativity of my heart and what I feel like imagery needs to be out there? Or, I just made this shit for whatever, and now motherfuckers can't stop buying it. So I guess to make money, I'm gonna just keep making this shit. Even though it may be the low-hanging fruit, the easy shit. Or I'm gonna just embroider dicks on a fucking hat and sell them to bachelorette parties. You know what I'm saying? Like once you all of a sudden you hit a vein that wasn't your intention, but now it's bringing in money, you have to decide: am I gonna stick to my creative process, or am I gonna make a shift and make this and get this bag? So what do you feel about that when it comes as a designer to making that decision?
I feel like I kind of been at that crossroad, I would say, like in the past couple of years, actually. Because right now, obviously, people got more responsibilities. Like everything that I do, I have to be super intentional with. And I can't, for a great example, that trucker hat, like right now in the space that I am right now, I would maybe be a little hesitant to drop that because I know for a fact it's just a statement piece, I just mentioned, and it's probably not gonna sell super a lot. I'm not gonna get my return, so that's where I'm at recently, and that may be a good reason why I haven't dropped nothing recently as well. And I had an epiphany that reminded me, yo, bro. This is what you do. So that's why, I have something coming early May. So, but I would definitely say that, around, I kind of lost my train of thought. But
it's just talking about, releasing something that sells, yes, but that it's not really in tune with your brand and your brand's identity.
That's where we was.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
So, like I was saying with the hats. So those truckers, I wouldn't do that right now. So that's definitely something that I can see a lot of independent designers going through because people got responsibilities, like especially in the city, in the town.
Got bills to pay.
Yeah, like niggas got responsibilities. So, you know what I mean? They may not be able to drop what they want. You know what I'm saying? And they should be able to. Like, you know what I mean? You should be able to create. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's why one of my biggest inspirations is Ye. And I feel like people don't understand, like, you know what I mean? People love to pick on the crazy Ye, but like at the end of the day, like I feel like he has a whole motto like create or die type of shit. Like I feel like, and that's why I want to be. Like I feel like if it was really up to him, people would be able to create. Like just, you know what I mean, with no free flowing, like regardless of what. And a lot of us can't do that. So that's definitely where I'm at with that.
So Zeus, what do you feel about that?
Yeah, I don't take crazy risks like that, and even like I'm not about money grabs. Like going back to streetwear, maybe like 4 years ago, remember when everybody would like repurpose like a Knicks logo and use their brand, like I don't like
everybody was, it was Savage, like it was like a red box logo, but it said Savage,
right? Like that's the money grab. Like you're taking the Supreme box logo.
I needed the money.
I mean, but that's what it is. If it's hot, some people just keep doing it because it's making them money instead of getting creative and doing their own thing. Like I do tend to go the safe route, something simple, something plain, something that I would wear, right? So that's my creative process. Like, would I wear this shit or would I wear like this plain new Helvetica, you know? So, yeah, so I don't take risks.
I got a question for you, bro.
Yeah, what's up?
Do you feel like that box you in though? Because I look at you as a super creative as well, and I feel like something like that, like not necessarily, but do you feel like maybe might box you in?
You're right. I do think it does, right? And that's something I do struggle with. Like how much outside of the box can I go without going too far? Without looking
that median. That median is what
Yeah.
we have to find as designers.
Exactly.
And that's why I asked you that, because I feel like, you know what I'm saying, like maybe with a little more, you can maybe tap in here, like I don't know, obviously.
Yeah.
I'm just speaking.
No, you're absolutely right though.
Yeah, like
something I struggle with.
We all struggle with.
Yeah.
What's like the creative process? Like you get an idea, do you have to sketch it out, and like at what point do you, like you said, like do you get an idea and you kind of can develop it and then realize, nah, this is not gonna work and back off? Like, and at what point is it? You know, what point?
At what point is it a go? Like, oh no, this needs to be made.
I mean, with us, because we're a study hall and it does revolve, like we can go like the collegiate direction, right? Look at school crests or school color, shit like that, right? So we'll start there. Do we have a theme? Like just a little inside information. Like one of the themes that we're developing is like high school clubs, like chess clubs, swim teams, shit like that. So we find a theme that we're interested in and then start researching, looking at different designs that's based around that. And then just start drawing something from scratch. Like I never want to repurpose something, take something that's already made and do it that way. We'll start it from scratch. And then look at different colors. If everyone agrees that all right, this looks good, we mock it up, put it on a shirt. All right, let's go for it. Let's print it and see how we do.
And what programs are you using? Just so for those people who are thinking about, stepping up, like what are those?
Honestly, the main tool that you're gonna use is Photoshop and Illustrator.
Right.
Illustrator is a lot of the design, the line work,
The vectoring.
the vectoring, all that. Photoshop, you could do all the mock-ups. Honestly, I got to the point I could do a mock-up in Illustrator. So Illustrator does a lot. Just make sure that you vectorize your joints before you go to the printer, get it to size, whether it's an 8-inch design, 10, 20. So those main two.
Speaking on that, that's actually super ironic because like I went to this Joe Fresh, one of my biggest inspirations as well. He had a workshop. That's where I got versed at Photoshop and Illustrator, and I was. Prior to that, which was a good chunk of my career, like I had absolutely, like I would play around, but like I had absolutely no knowledge of that. And the stuff and a lot of the designs that we created and we came out with, I couldn't even tell you how I came up with. I couldn't tell you. Some of them was like a random app that I was maybe high one day, messed with, I'm serious. It worked, obviously. And then like it's so crazy to me because I don't leave this part out when I speak to the youth and stuff of that part, because like you say, it just shows that it's avenues and it's stuff that you necessarily, you know what I mean? Like I said, this was like 3 years ago that I actually became versed and able to actually create and do stuff of that matter in those industry standard programs. And like I'm saying, there's definitely avenues to, you know what I mean, create if it's not necessary.
Right. Those are not the only two. There's different, like there's apps that'll take a JPEG and vectorize it for you.
Yeah.
Like you can do anything, bro. Like as long as you get to that point that is ready for a shirt and the quality looks good, it's not pixelated, you're good to go. It don't matter how you do it.
Right. Like even drawing on a piece of paper and taking a picture of
Right.
it. And
you can digitize it.
If it's black and white,
you get digitized, it's valid.
Right. The world's your oyster. All right. So, I mean, building a brand is difficult, right? I feel like one of the biggest obstacles that a creative has to do is not only the business side, right? You got to learn all that. You got to make sure all your ducks is in a row. So not only do you you don't get audited and other things like that, but also nobody steals your shit, right? Ownership above everything, right? The next thing though, I feel like the next big hurdle is marketing, right? So what was your experience developing your marketing strategy for your brands? What was that? What did that feel like? What was that like going through that?
Especially we starting off, we were very intentional and personal with that, and we felt like we could have, and maybe that would have took our brand to bigger heights, reached out and had certain stuff outsourced and certain stuff, you know what I mean, tapped in. But we were so hands-on to the point where we're not at that level to let somebody else create this for us. So we felt like we had to do that. And me knowing what I know now, a few things we should have had outsourced as far as marketing-wise. But our only tool that we really use, which is still is Instagram. We super tapped in with Instagram as far as like promotion and marketing wise, but we would have used other avenues and other resources, you know what I mean, outsourced and do things, you know what I mean, tap in with different clients and everything and stuff like that.
What about you, Zeus?
Yes, honestly, so much parallels between us. Same shit. Marketing, again, we wanted to keep the brand like close to our heart, so it was hard to let some of it go and outsource some of the shit because we always want to know what the hell is being put out. Knowing now, like you can always be a part of that process, but it's just somebody that can just take over your social media, for example. So that's something we always struggled with, still struggle with, is the marketing portion of it. Like even the content creating, like I just feel like
it's a lot.
I make it, I take a picture of it, put it out, you're gonna like it. It's not that.
And then it gets old in a day. Like the post is old. And then if you repost it, then it loses its interaction every time you repost that same image.
The attention span today is like a few seconds.
Yeah. And so that's definitely an obstacle you have to overcome. What are some ways that the brands that you like, you see them overcoming that obstacle?
Yeah. So it's funny because I think about this literally every day, waking hours. Like I go back to Hidden, right? He started doing the hashtags on his posts and paying for ads. He doesn't do any of that shit no more.
No.
Sometimes he won't even put any words on his post, but his shit does so well. So like that's what it is. You have to figure out something easy to do. Like some of the brands, he's at a point where he or she, honestly, we don't know if it's a he or she, they're paying actors to do fire promos for them. Right. They don't even need that, but they got the budget for it. So
didn't they with their first advertisement for their first drop? It was who was it that was eating in the delicatessen? Who was that actor?
The dude from How to Make It in America, the Jewish dude.
With Cuddy. Damn son, what's his name, bro?
Is it Brian son?
But it was somebody famous. I remember. I was just like, yo, what? And so when you put that, like you said, it's whack that sometimes you gotta like, bend the knee to some of these influencers or these actors to get your brand out there. But if you do it like for example, I think the brand is called Amile, where they had, it was Kith. Kith had Jerry Seinfeld.
They got a lot of people. Yeah.
But the thing is it was crazy. Like you would never think Seinfeld, but then you got Seinfeld with a Knicks jersey on. It's like, bro, you just bringing it back to the 90s. Brilliant. imagery great,
Right.
you know. And so sometimes it's like, okay, yeah, you got to bend the knee, but if you're gonna bend the knee, if you can find someone that is really well knit, and whatever they created, it can really be tied into your brand and your, what you want to show.
Yeah.
I think it's great.
I'm gonna say this. You're right, but I think people need to use the resources they got, right, and figure out how you're gonna pay for it. Because if JP a photographer is, I'm gonna pay what he charged, right? I'm not gonna lowball that. I got a friend actually, amazing photographer. He, Marcel.
Oh. Yeah.
For his friends.
Oh yeah, Marcel.
Yeah.
No,
for his friends, he'll just send you an Amazon list. Yo, give me a few things off of here and I'll work with you. He don't want to take money from us.
Right.
So, but you gotta use your resources because some people are doing dope shit out there, and you don't have to go pay for Jerry Seinfeld. You could get something that look just as good, but now you got to market it, right? You want people to see it, so use the resources you got.
So tapping more into like the marketing. Do you have a physical space, or are you just online?
No,
online.
Space.
You got no physical space. No physical space. Is that part of your plan eventually to have a physical space, or are you gonna stay on like? Because for my brand, I don't want no physical space. I don't want a storefront. I want a warehouse where all the stuff is coming out. But that's for my brand. So what about for you guys? What are you feeling?
I want one.
Okay.
It was always a dream. Now, is that fiscally
responsible
and the right thing to do in New York? Hell no. but like I would love a storefront. You know what I mean?
Why?
That more or less, not even just to sell my art, just so the culture can be appreciated there. You know what I mean? Like people can pull up, cop what they want, chill, do what they want to do. Like I see so much creatives doing amazing things with storefronts, and I get jealous.
Right.
I feel like, yo, if I had a storefront, like I would give so much to the culture. Like I would tap in ways unimaginable. And then like that's what makes me want a storefront. But like I said, then it's like it's just not. It doesn't work like fiscally, but you know.
Yeah, like it's always been a dream to have brick and mortar, obviously, and figure out how to curate that space to attract different groups of people and hopefully make it so different people that you know can also contribute to that space. Honestly, like he's saying, like getting a 365 physical space is not doable.
At least 2.5 million.
But
in New York City.
But there is ways to do like physical pop-ups, extended time, like a week at a time, a month at a time, and everybody can come see your shit. You know, there are ways to do that. I don't know if I'm ready for that yet, but I mean that shit like we could talk about. Like we find a spot that for a week is gonna charge us $2,000, bro. We make it happen. Like it's easy like that. So
there is a workaround.
Yeah, there's
right?
a workaround.
So the pop-ups are definitely a great way to, we just did a pop-up at the Bronx Native for Splaticus and for Attorneys of Swag.
Well, just like a day joint?
Yeah, so he I don't know if you know or who that guy is.
I know of him.
Yeah. He so on the first day of New York Fashion Week, he had a little pop-up shop. He was like, yo, give me 50 beans and pull up, and I have space on a rack for you.
That's nice.
I'm marketing on my platform. He's got like 30, 40,000 followers, and was like, I'm gonna have people pull up and this and that. Make sure you come prep. And so I feel like, yes, like me still, like after hearing what you were saying, I'm now starting to reconsider having a space because yes, having a space, you can do events there. Like, like you can host other brands and make a little bit of money off that and things like that. So there is a profitability to it, even though, my main thing was like, bro, they not charging motherfuckers. They're not arresting motherfuckers for coming in, stealing my shit, walking out my store. The cops in the city are going, well, you shouldn't have had a store. Like, that's how they treat people. So I'm like, yo, fuck that. I'd rather have a warehouse with a machine gun on it so you can't come in my shit.
Nah, but the way to do that is
you want them to hit them with the hammer if it's your shit.
You can hit different neighborhoods if you're doing these temporary pop-ups.
Yeah.
Yo, listen to pop-ups, man. That was my avenue. At the peak of our success, I would definitely say pop-ups. Like that was the real way we got our stuff to the people, and it was amazing.
And so just to bring this to like the whole conversation to a close, what is next for your brands, right? What's next? Not only products, but like where do you see yourselves next year on this stage?
I mean, like I'm tapped in, like, with my downtime with Hyvaria, like, I created so much other brands, and I tapped in with so much other things. So just to mention that, so I would definitely do some stuff with that. Like, I have my candle company as well. Nice. That's something that I created during the pandemic, and it was
turn a pandemic to a pandemic.
Yeah. And then, you know what I mean, I wanted to create, but I wanted to do it on a space where it was not like I didn't know nothing about. You know what I mean? I wanted to go in and try to see what's up.
That's a good way to spend your.
What's the name of the candle joint?
Black Candle Co.
I got one. I got the City Island joint. Yeah.
How you like it?
Well, you got a candle that smell like City Island?
No, it's called City Island. It's called City Island. It's called City Island. It's inspired by City Island.
Inspired by it's
Like
good.
it smell
I
like fried soft shell crab, bro. I feel like
Yes.
be hungry in my crib all day, yo.
Shout out to my better half. She's she's very influential in this.
That's
as
what's
well.
up, man.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
And then yes, I also tapped in and have a cat. I should have brought this out a little earlier. I didn't know the vibes. It's in the car. But yes, I also have a cannabis brand as well.
Oh, nice.
Yes, that I've been creating with as well. And
Is that right there?
Is it? Oh yeah, it sure is.
It dropped in the beginning of the episode, but I was like, I'm not gonna say nothing.
Yo, you know what's crazy? I wouldn't either. But yes, this is one of the apes right here. It's called Slow Bro. It's a collab with my man. He also is a creative as well. Rondo, Waves Clothing. He's a creative as well. Shout out to him. That's my bro. Super dope creative. We tapped in, made this cannabis line. We have our own strand. We have our own strand and what have you. It's powered by Dead Ops as well. Dead Ops, I'm sure if you familiar with this smoking world,
That's real nice.
you would know what's up with Dead Ops.
Okay.
They're the engine behind that. So they saw me and my man Rondo's vision and gave us our own strand. And
That's what's up. man.
So I've been grinding with that as well. We have merch for that as well.
Nice.
I'm dropping merch for that at the same time if I'm dropping my new collection early May. So I'm gonna have merch for the Slow Bro and some new Hyvaria pieces at the same time.
All right.
And
And so what up? So Zeus, what's up next for you?
Yeah, man.
What can people expect?
We're looking like late April, early May too for our next collection. I actually had my son do I be having him draw like little design. He's way into Study Hall, right?
Yeah.
So he did a dope design, and some incentive is I'm gonna drop it and do kid size shirts for his schoolmates.
Fire.
That's so fire.
So
Smart. Very,
we're
very
gonna,
smart.
we reworked his design. We didn't change anything, just made it more clear. Did it on Illustrator, so it's dope. It's a real dope design. Can't wait to share that with everyone. And then we're gonna drop another T-shirt. And then also, like I mentioned earlier, Study Hall Presents, trying to kick that off. I think I'm gonna do the first iteration of it, just introducing people how to get, if someone got a design, how to get that printed. So I'm gonna do that free webinar. We're never gonna charge for a webinar, FYI, anytime we do that.
Is it gonna be live or pre-recorded?
No, it's gonna be live. It's gonna be live, and it's gonna be different topics. Like even when you was talking about the business aspect of it, like get yourself an accountant, right? Figure that out, how to do that. So little things like that. So that's gonna be called Study Hall Presents. And then just working with different creatives. Like we got a coffee book that we're working on, working with a photographer out of Chicago. So we're trying to get a coffee book together with different brands. So we are going to start reaching out to different brands, get that cracking.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much, man. We
Thank you for having us.
We appreciate y'all coming out, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it's good to hear about the process because you know it cuts through the bullshit and other people who want to maybe tap in or maybe do it themselves. They can see it's attainable. But,
I just want to say one more thing, if possible,
Yeah,
definitely. I'm also, because your man had mentioned your man with a tournament. I also run my own tournament as well.
Fire.
I have my own tournament for the youth in my neighborhood in the valley.
Oh yeah, I've been to that. That's a good
Yes,
turnout.
yes, appreciate that. But yes, we're looking for teams as well. We're getting ready to start up that whole situation. So I also use that as an avenue to create as well.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I have, fire basketball merch and shorts and all
well,
that
we're gonna have all that information in the description. You're gonna be able to tap into all of that.
Definitely.
And so that's gonna be great, and we're gonna be very excited to share that.
Yes.
So we
First month
appreciate
July,
y'all coming
first month
out. So for the unsung hero for this episode is Nicole Garrett. She has created the Business Mind Collaboration, which is basically a cohort of individuals who entrepreneurs. It's a community of like-minded entrepreneurs. They exchange ideas, they share information, and they encourage each other. So we thank her to be serving her community and finding a niche where she can help people. You want to do our sponsor?
Yes, our sponsor is
Hopkins.
Hopkins Law Group.
Yeah.
It's not doing right now. Sir. Thank you, Mr. Hopkins. Thank you for allowing us into your space.
Dope. Shout out to Mr. Hopkins.
Shout out. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, and that's it. We love y'all. Oh, and also make sure you remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Yo, comment down in the base.
Is it gonna be like the graphic though?
Yeah. It's gonna pop up. Right, and you know what? And now it's gonna pop up right when you made that sound.
Yo, plug y'all things.
Give us the Instagram, Facebook, whatever it is that y'all got.
Yeah, on any social media platform, Studyhall NY, and then the website studyhallny.com.
Perfect.
Me, Hyvaria Fashion on Instagram, no spaces, Hyvaria Fashion, and website Hyvaria.com. Me personally, JP Live Free, my Instagram.
All right. And
Talk about how you spell it.
Hyvaria.
H. You put me on the spot. HYVARIA Fashion.
There you go.
There we go. Yes, sir.
And with that, thank you. See you next time.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
No. So what they're saying, right? To be clear for our audience, because I actually read that article. I didn't look at that. But what they said was
dropping gems like we preaching. Don't overstep the line of our freedom of speaking. We cast to the world, put the words in the street and connecting all the minds of the people we reaching.
Yo, tempted to get fenced in and contempting. Teach you motherfuckers a lesson and pressing the issue at hand. Nah, I don't care about objections, suspensions, and cell inspections. Just suppression of black lives is my passion. And love for my fam is everlasting. So stop gassing these asses with glasses. Cause in the end, I leave them where the trash is.
out. Jury's out. Jury's out. It's no doubt what we about, and we kick it to the masses. Trying to spit the law as we laugh off our asses. Breaking down the latest shit, carrying crazy lady shit. Glad I ain't got no baby shit. COVID got me crazy, bitch. Damn, and G gon' have to edit this. The jury's out, so you can't even credit us. No statements null and void, invalid evidence. No, you can't take us to court, cause you know. Jury's out.